All right, welcome in. It's Friday, early afternoon, April 24th, to another episode of the GT Sports Keep It 100. This is the podcast where we talk professional and college sports. And today I'm going to do a couple of little short videos from some of the NBA games that we had going on last night. There were some good ones. I got to tell you, I'm really shocked at the way some of these games are going in the first round. Some of the teams that I thought were going to have an easier time and winning this series early are in a dogfight. And to tell you the truth, I think they might even lose this series, man. I mean, it's not looking really good. Let's go. Quick one here. I want to talk and recap the game last night, game number 3 in Atlanta. The Hawks hosting the New York Knicks. That series coming into game 3 was tied at 1-1. Atlanta able to get a win in game number 2. So I'm not a New York Knicks fan. I've been on record as saying that here on the podcast, but I did pick them to win this. I knew Atlanta. Atlanta had made a trade, so I knew some of the players they got for Trae Young were good. But I still didn't know how well. I mean, I knew they were going to make the playoffs. I thought they were one of the 8 best teams in the East. But matching up with one of those top 4 teams, whether it was Cleveland or New York or Boston or Detroit, I said, man, they ain't got a chance to win one. They may win one game, but it's going to go in 5, maybe 6, and that is not what's happening here. The Atlanta Hawks get a close 1-point win last night to now lead the series 2-1 going into Game 4 tomorrow in Atlanta. So, not what I expected, not what I thought was going to happen. The Knicks could be in trouble here. So, look, it's if they win tomorrow, it's 2-2 going back to New York. They're okay, right? So a win tomorrow can ease a lot of people's minds in terms of, okay, we're going to go back to Game 5. We win that one at home. We're up 3-2. But they've got to win tomorrow, because if Atlanta wins tomorrow and goes up 3-1 in this series, it's over for New York. Now, last night, let's go to some of these games stats for Atlanta. Um, Johnson had 24, McCollum, CJ 23, Alexander Walker 14, and they got 21 from Kaminga off the bench. I thought that was really, really great, right? McCollum's been playing lights out in this series. He had the game winning shot last night to get the win for his team. If you are New York, the Towns got 21, Brunson 26, Anunoby 29, and they've got 15 off the bench from McBride. But Hart had 2 points in 40 minutes, and in 20 something minutes, I think it was, Bridges had 0. That's not going to work, especially on the road, right? I think if you're Brunson and Towns, you have to get more than 20 something on the road, right? But again, looking at that team, they got down in the first quarter. Atlanta led pretty much the whole game. New York did make a run at the end, which was great, but at the end result was an air ball at the very end. McCollum comes back, makes a beautiful shot, and then Brunson gets kind of caught up on the underneath the basket there, tries to make a pass. Not the best play to try to win the game. And then, he's got like 3 defenders on him. And the end result is they don't get a shot up and they lose the game. So we're at 2-1. Listen, for me, do I think New York can win game 4? Of course they can. They have the talent. But I think that Towns is the key. Obviously, he's got to get some of his players to help. They need more help, but he's got to take over. He's got to put his handprint on this game, and early. The Knicks cannot go down 10. The Hawks already feel look. If I'm the Atlanta Hawks, I'm coming into game 4, and I'm feeling great. Right. First of all, we've beaten them at their place. Right? And then we come in. Yes, we're in a dogfight. We let them back in the game, but the end result, we won. Now, game 4, I'm feeling confident. The team is feeling confident. They're playing at home. Those fans are going to be loud. It's all advantage Atlanta for them to win it. I mean, they couldn't have scripted this better. Had to try to write it up, right? Like it played out exactly the way that they wanted it. And now they have an opportunity because if you're Atlanta, I'm saying this: if we win Game 4, this series is over. Like they have to understand that this series isn't over now. Yes, you're up 2-1, but if New York wins Game 4, they're going back to New York for Game 5 with their crowd, and they're very capable of winning that game. So they're very capable of winning 2 games, and then now the series shifts over in favor of the Knicks, and then they won't lose it. If they win Game 4 and 5, they're not going to lose this series. So even though it looks really good for Atlanta, we're up 2-1. They need to win this game. They got to have this mindset of if we win, like it's all or nothing in Game 4, the way I look at it. Because if Atlanta wins Game 4, the series is over. They're going to win this series, and New York is going to be done. And now, if you're in New York, you've got to come in Game 4, and you got to say, we've got to look, guys. We've got to put it all on the line. You got to be, diving for balls. You got to do everything you can to win, even if you win by 1 point and you have to grind it out. You got to find a way to win this game. You cannot go down 3-1. Now, if they do and they end up losing this series, you brought in Mike Brown, the head coach, for offense, right? When they fired Thibodeau last year, I said, "What are they doing?" Right? Like I thought New York played great. I thought they were going the right direction. I would have kept Tibbs again, right? Like I said, look, they're real close here to reaching their goal. You bring these guys back and you go again, but ownership, management of the New York Knicks felt different. I guess they felt like defensively they might have been okay. They didn't have enough offense. I don't know what they were thinking, but they fired Tibbs. Most coaches that get that far in the playoffs don't get fired. They bring in Mike Brown. Right now, currently, the way I see this team, they look worse than they did last year, right? I don't know what the end result's going to be, but I'm assuming that if they lose this series, does Mike Brown come back? There's a very good chance he'll get fired. I really think he'll get fired. I mean, why would you bring him back? I mean, the team obviously did not, they underachieved under your leadership. So there's a very good chance. I mean, do they give him another shot to redeem himself? Maybe. But I can also see him getting fired if they lose in the first round. I think some of the players won't be back. You're going to have to shake some things up. And oh, by the way, Giannis Antetokounmpo is really looking good right now if I'm management, because the fans will probably be calling for him if they don't get out of this first round, right? And you're probably then looking and calling the Bucks and saying, look, man, what do you want, right? Because we just underachieved here. And now you got to bring somebody in that can help you get to where you need to go, because it isn't going to be this team, right? Just losing in the first round would be devastating for the Knicks organization, and their fans definitely would be roaring up there, calling for change. So I'm just saying, it's not over by any means. It's not over till it's over, because again, if the New York Knicks win Game 4 tomorrow, then that eases some of this tension, because they're going back to Game 5 in New York, and if they win that, then they're going to win the series, right? No worries. But if they do not win Game 4 and Atlanta finds a way to win it, this series is over. And then I'm pretty sure there'll be changes. There should be changes. To what degree, I don't know. But I'm thinking, Antetokounmpo's right back up there, and maybe you need to bring him into New York to be able to get you to where you need to, because it definitely isn't going to be this team, right? And again, all season long, they've been this way. I've been on the record here and off the record when I talk to people about sports is that they should have been the number 1 seed, right? Like Detroit, when you have all these injuries at the start of the season and you're looking at New York and you're saying, man, this is your opportunity, right? Like this is your opportunity to be the first seed. That didn't happen, right? They won some big games. They lost some big games, right? They weren't even the second seed. in the East. Boston had one of their players, best players, out for just about the whole season. He comes back toward the end, and you still, without Jason Tatum, can't have a better record than the Boston Celtics. There's an issue there, right? And now you're in a dogfight. And the reason I'm saying this becomes very dangerous for the Knicks is because, yes, you're capable of winning, but this team over here that you're playing, they now think they can win the series. If they didn't think they could win the series when it started in game one, winning game two said, hey, man, we got a shot. Now we go to game three, and now we're up 2-1. You're playing a team that feels very confident. They think they can win this series, and that's a dangerous team because game four is played at their house with their fans. So it's going to be a good one tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be watching. Like I said, I wouldn't just count the Knicks out completely because they do have the tools to win that game, especially if there's some struggling that goes on with Atlanta. That hasn't been the case in the last two games. But boy, I'm telling you, New York better come out with the sense of urgency. They better, the season is on the line for this team if they want to go to the next round. And they better come out and they better get help. And Towns and Jalen Brunson need to score more than 20 plus. They got to both go 30 plus and get some help to be able to win game four. Because again, if the Knicks lose, the season is over for them. They will not win this series. And then we'll see what kind of changes. I'm sure there will be some changes in New York. But just wanted to come out and give you my 2 cents. Again, I like the Hawks. I'm not against the Hawks. I've been not a fan of theirs, but when they play certain teams, I do root for them. This has gone way back to the 90s. I've never disliked Atlanta. So I'm actually hoping that they do win the series. I'm not a New York Knicks fan by any means, but to me, it's just surprising that with the talent that the Knicks have, that they play this way, right? That they don't. And I've been on the record as saying I do not believe that they want to win a championship. And when I say that, I don't mean that mentally they don't think about wanting to be the last team standing. Of course they do. But they don't play that way, right? They're not willing to do what it takes to be the last team standing. They've lost too many games this year that they should have won against teams they shouldn't have lost to. And then here we are in the playoffs in the first round, and they're already struggling and in danger of losing in the first round. That tells you all you need to know about the Knicks. So even if they do get out of this series, do I think that they will beat the elite in the East and get to the NBA Finals? Absolutely not. So we'll see what takes place, but definitely losing in the first round, there would be some changes in my opinion, and maybe the firing of Mike Brown. But that's still down the road. They've got game four to play. We'll see if New York can pull it out. I'll be back later on here to talk about the other two games. I just kind of wanted to break them down. I didn't want to go all up in one after another. I'll stop it here for the New York Knicks. I'll upload this video. I'll come back in about an hour or so, and I'll talk about the other two games because I tell you that Denver Nugget, Minnesota's got me wanting to talk about the Denver Nuggets as well. So I'll be back here in about an hour and a half to upload and talk about the other two teams. But right now, New York down one game. Atlanta up 2-1 with game four tomorrow as they get the win in game three. 109-108. Tomorrow's game should be good. I'll be back here in just a bit.